Hey all, happy day. It's Patty from Artichoke, and today we are making a creamy, dreamy artichoke chicken soup. It's going to be cheesy. I use Brie in this, and delicious. So we're going to start with a full stick of butter in my pan, which I'm going to melt, and I'm going to add 2 large onions chopped. I have 4 celery stalks and the tops sliced really fine, and 4 small carrots. Also about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. They weren't really huge. If they're really large, I would go with 3. All of this is going to go in here. As soon as this butter is melted, we're going to saute them till they're somewhat soft, and then I'm going to add just under 2 quarts. I have about 7 cups here of my homemade chicken stock. You can use the boxed if that's what you use. I prefer to make my own. It's easy, it's wonderful, it's luscious. My son calls it Mom's Miracle because when you're sick, there's nothing like it. So if you can, use homemade. If not, use the boxed. I have spinach set aside here for later. So as soon as this is sauteed up, I'm going to add in the stock, and we're going to bring it to a low boil and let it simmer for about 15 minutes till everything's nice and tender. Then we'll be back and I'll show you what else we're adding. This is super simple and really quick. Okay, so as you can see, our vegetables have sauteed down and softened quite nicely. I'm going to add my stock, which is heavy. I'm going to bring this to a light boil and simmer for about 15 minutes. But while that's happening, I wanted to show you what else I'm going to be using. So I have spinach. I have some chopped cooked chicken. Now you can use rotisserie, you can use any leftover roasted chicken you have, you can use leftover grilled chicken, whatever you want. I have about 3 cups here I measured out. Artichokes. I have here, I chopped up 1 8-ounce can of small artichokes, plain, and then I chopped up 8 ounces, and I know this is going to sound weird, but trust me on this, 8 ounces of the marinated artichokes, drained, obviously. You know, the ones that come in the little jars that people use for appetizers or charcuterie boards, 8 ounces of those. So artichokes are mixed. I have an 8-ounce wheel of Brie that I cut the rind off of on all sides and cubed. And I'm going to use this jar. I have half a cup of flour in here. I'm going to be adding a quart of half and half. You could use whole milk, either or. I happen to have half and half I need to use up. And I'm going to be using this to thicken up my soup. I will also be adding a couple of cups of heavy cream later. This is a very rich and creamy, dreamy soup. Salt and pepper, and that's pretty much it. So we're going to let this come to a little boil and simmer for 15 minutes so everything is completely soft and tender, and then I'll be back and we'll add everything else in, and it should be ready super quick after that. See you in a few. Okay, so this smells amazing. Now I have a quart of half and half here, and I shook it up really well with a half a cup of flour. And I'm going to add this in here. There we go. And we're going to stir this up and let it simmer for a couple of minutes till it thickens up. And as this thickens up nicely, I'm going to add in the chunks of brie, the artichokes, the chicken, and 2 cups of heavy cream, a little bit of salt. You won't need too much. The cheese will be salty enough, and some pepper. And then as it all comes to a simmer, I'm just going to throw in the spinach till it wilts, and we shall have soup. It will be absolutely delicious. So I'm just going to wait for this to thicken a little bit. Then we'll throw in the brie till it melts, and the chicken, artichokes, heavy cream. The spinach will be the last to go in. Be back in a minute. Okay, this has gotten nice and creamy. So I'm adding in the brie while this is really hot because I'd like it to melt well. Good. Okay. So that's the first thing in. Going to add in the artichokes. And the chicken. And a little bit of heavy cream here. And as soon as this gets really hot again, which is pretty much any second now, it's pretty hot, I'm going to throw in the spinach. Now you all know how spinach wilts down into nothing, so there we go. And we have soup. Give it about 3 minutes for the spinach to wilt down into there. Oops. And you are going to have the most delicious, oh, look at this, I'm making a mess. The most delicious, creamy, dreamy artichoke chicken soup. There we go. Look at that. Chunks of chicken, artichokes, veggies, cheesy and yummy. Buon cibo, buon amici, good food, good friends. Have a wonderful evening. It started downpouring here a little while ago, so this soup is going to sit very well with us tonight. Hope you have a wonderful evening. We'll see you soon.